joining. Beautiful being here. Beautiful being here with you. I love spending our mornings together. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking care of yourself and you activating the highest in yourself, the one that is present in every moment, the Buddha that is with you in every moment, which is who you really are, who you have always been, and the one that is between the thoughts. So I trust that you're well and that you are ready for our morning ritual to begin, that there are intense things going on in the world right now, albeit some of them related to immune system. So this morning we are, as always, building our immune system with our deep breathing technique. We're also setting our intentions and surrendering to whatever the universe has to offer us, and we will set our intentions and build the greatest part of ourselves, reintroduce our amygdala to the rest of our brain. Our amygdala is the fight, flight, or freeze part of the brain, and it is also related to the deepest control over body temperature, over immune system, and it has been frozen and isolated for a long time due to the agitation of society, due to traumas and things like that. And traumas can be of many different sorts. They could be the extreme traumas of experiencing violence in the home. They could be less traumatic, like medical traumas, but still traumatic. And these traumas end up kind of freezing the amygdala into a particular state of agitation. And through this breathing practice, what we're doing is we're taking this deepest part of the brain and we're kind of making it uncomfortable to the point that when we release, it actually releases the tension of that amygdala. And it's been shown scientifically that within 4 days, anxiety and depression is greatly relieved by this breathing technique. And of course, we go back into society on a daily basis, most of us, and so we can be re-agitated into that state. So it's important to come back every morning and do this practice. And I really appreciate that you're taking care of yourself and you're doing this. So it's through conscious intention that we can actually control our immune system, as Wim Hof has shown, and his breathing technique is the breathing technique that we're using, and he's doing the scientific research with doctors around the world. His breathing technique, which is also an ancient yoga breathing technique, which is handed down through the Vedas and through the sages from eons ago. This technique allows you to become greatly immunized against some pretty strong ailments. They actually injected him with E. coli, and that E. coli should normally put somebody into sepsis and into the hospital for 2 weeks, and he only got a mild headache. And when doctors said that he was an anomaly, he said, no, I'll show you that it's not just an anomaly, that it's actually this technique. And he trained 12 more people, and they too, when they were injected with E. coli, had the immunity that he had. So these breathing techniques are very powerful, and we're combining it with intention setting and reflection on the Taoist teachings of calmness and serenity and coming into peace with the intense aspects of society. And so it's really an opportunity every morning for us to come together and calibrate for our day, set our intentions, and create the most beautiful day, the most powerful day. In a way, we are creating our own superhero. Who we are is truly beyond what we've been led to believe, and what we've been limiting ourselves with from the thoughts that have been given up to us by others, usually for their benefit. And we're now recalibrating all of that, and we're creating our own thoughts, our own most powerful intentions, and living our greatest selves every day. And that's a practice, and this is the practice. So beautiful. Let's begin with our celebration of beautiful readings from the I Ching, or the Book of Changes. This one is translated by Brian Brown Walker. I really recommend it. It's a beautiful translation. You can find it on the Google Play Store and the App Store. And it starts with a message from the universe that we determine by tapping these coins. And I'll tap them for you and for me. And today we received the message called Fu, Earth over Thunder, hexagram number 24. And Fu in English marks return. A time of darkness comes to a close. So let's begin. Receiving this hexagram is a sign that you have reached a turning point. This moment is akin to the winter solstice. The greatest adversity is past, and the light is beginning to return. Nonetheless, one cannot force the completion of the change, and it is wise to rest. Act only when you can move gently and innocently, and all will be well. Fu also comes as a reminder to return to the light in yourself. Growth is only possible when we relinquish the expressions of the ego, pride, impatience, anger, and desire. To act forcefully or ambitiously now will only generate misfortune. Let things develop naturally in their own way. Simply observe and accept changes as you observe and accept the rising of the sun. Allow yourself to rest and gather strength for a time of growth ahead. By holding to modesty, gentleness, and correct conduct, you prepare the ground for a fruitful blossoming when the light fully returns. And we received a special message, and it says, deviations from the path of good are inevitable. Misfortune is avoided when we put evil aside before it takes root. And then we receive further guidance from the Wei Wu Wei Ching, which says, there is nothing that is impure, nothing in need of elimination, no place to go, not a thing to obtain. Shed the duality that you are a seeker in search of some attainment. Just be as you are, without attachment to anything, anyone, any state, any ideal. Powerful message in this time as we let go of all attachments, even to the thoughts that there may be negative thoughts. We just let go of all attachment to those. And on top of today's message, there's always a secondary message. And today's secondary message, which I don't read every day, but today is a little less urgent day, it being Saturday. This message is Kun, Earth over Earth, hexagram number 2, the receptive. Bear with things as the earth bears with us, by yielding, by accepting, by nourishing. Kun, the receptive, is the complement to Qian, the creative, the dark which is illuminated by the light, the earth which receives the blessings of heaven, the vessel into which nourishment flows. This is a time to follow rather than lead, to assist rather than initiate, to listen rather than talk. Redevote yourself to the cultivation of modesty, receptivity, and gentleness now, and let go of concerns about the conduct of others or the progress of worldly ambitions. The wisdom of cultivating receptivity cannot be overstated. Receptivity is the rich earth without which the creative cannot take root in our lives. This fundamental hexagram serves as a strong encouragement to you to concentrate on your capacities to nourish, to support, to accept, to work without desiring recognition, to follow the guidance of the sage. You can benefit greatly in a period like this from time spent in solitude. In quietness, we have an opportunity to focus on the purification of our hearts and minds. It is a good time to ask oneself, am I sincerely pursuing the good for its own sake, or do I have a hidden agenda? If so, detach from it and return to the path of independence and balance. Through humility and openness, we become receptive to the assistance of the higher power. And then further guidance from the Wei Wu Wei Ching. Enlightenment comes only when you accept everything that is, without resistance, without quarrel, in complete stillness. This is the only, the simplest, the necessary ground of being for complete realization. The opportunity to dwell in quiet acceptance exists in every moment, sitting, bathing, cleaning, cooking, working, whatever. When that moment passes, it is present in the next. Just embrace it. Beautiful. And this is the message that we repeat every day. The message is that we are always in our highest self by coming back into the present. There is a doorway at the intersection of a cross. And that intersection is the doorway between the horizontal, call it time or the horizon, and the vertical, which is levels of consciousness. In that intersection is a doorway. The doorway is in the present. In the present, we're neither in the past nor the future. And in the present, we can go in and choose to go up or choose to go down. And so it's about being in the present. Sexual alchemy, meditation, all of these messages tell us to be in the present. The sages talk about time and space and causation not existing. And how is that? How is that time doesn't exist? Well, time only exists in the stories that we tell in our mind. The stories about the future, the stories about the past. So by coming back into the present and letting go of all stories and coming from our hearts instead of our minds, we are entering into a state of who we really are. Who we are is just being present in each and every moment and accepting and being at peace with what is happening. Not allowing stories about the past or the future to affect how we move about in the world or try to affect a change or want something to happen. But really coming from the heart, we're manifesting and choosing our thoughts in our minds, and we're creating through the power of our intention. So let's dive into the creation of our intention. And setting our intention for the day starts by coming into a meditative space. This meditative space is a space really that we create and can create in any moment. It could be sitting in a doctor's office. It could be waiting in line at a grocery store. This space really is a space of calm serenity, not thinking, just being present, being calm and accepting. And in today's space, what we're doing is we're sitting down specifically for meditation. We're sitting down specifically to set our intentions. So come into that space now. And in that space, we see, feel, and experience our intention happening in this moment. Our 90-day, 1 year, 5-year intention, as if it is happening, because it is, as if it is happening right now. So come to that feeling, experience it in your mind, experience your intention happening right now. Feel compassion in your heart for yourself. You're doing the best that you can. And give compassion and feel compassion for your family and friends. Everybody is doing the best that they can. And compassion for all people. Everybody has challenges. This mind that we all have, that we believe who we are is this mind, is very tricky. It creates stories about what's happened in the past. It creates stories about what's happened in the future. And we have to recognize and realize that everybody is working with their own traumas to see if they can pass through them. Everybody is working with the crazy thoughts that they might have in their mind, just like I do, just like you might have. And so come into the present with the power of your intention, with deepest compassion in your heart, deepest gratitude for this moment, for being together. Thank you so much for being here. And experience your intention in extreme detail. Maybe spend time every morning before our meditation, if you have 15 minutes, and journal with even more detail about how your intention unfolds and manifests. And that will add more clarity to your intention. So do that. And now as we go into meditation, and we repeat our intention in our minds, feeling it in our hearts, and letting go of our attachment to the outcome. Feel it and experience it in beautiful detail. And so let's begin with our meditation and feel the power of our intention unfolding as we experience it. So sit upright. Feel joy in your heart, gratitude in your heart for this moment. Spend a few moments finding a spot in your body that helps you ground into the present. Scan for the strongest sensation in your body. Notice that strongest sensation and have it help you come back into this present moment, experiencing it in your body and mind. And begin to repeat your intention in your mind. Feel it, see it, experience it as it is happening right now. And for the next 4 minutes, repeat that intention in your mind. Feel compassion in your heart. And know that all is delivered by the universe. Mhm. Beautiful, beautiful meditation. Coming into the present moment really inspires me to meditate more today. Thank you for that. All right, let's dive into our breathing technique. Our breathing technique is the Wim Hof method. Again, this ancient breathing technique, which activates our immune system, our deepest part of our amygdala. Repeat your intention while doing the breathing technique, if you can, and enjoy the process. We do 4 cycles of 40 breaths, and after the end of each cycle of 40 breaths, we exhale completely down to 0 and hold it at the bottom. And hold it for as long as we can. If that's 30 seconds, that's great. If that's a minute, that's great. If that's 2 minutes, that's great. If it's 3 minutes, that's great. Do whatever you're capable of doing right now. Go beyond what is just uncomfortable. Go into the a bit more uncomfortable if you can, and know that you will be fine. You'll take a breath at the end, and you'll activate a deeper part of the brain as it kind of squeezes the amygdala and then lets go. This deeper part of the brain will be connected to the rest of your brain. You're activating the conscious control of your immune system. You're activating conscious control of body temperature. You're activating conscious control and releasing anxiety and depression due to this fight, flight, or freeze state that most of us are in due to the agitation of society. So let's begin. If you have the Wim Hof application, you can go to your retention timer, and this app also explains this technique in beautiful detail from Wim Hof himself. So you can definitely check that out, and I definitely recommend everybody grab that application as well. Beautiful. So let's begin. We start with a deep inhale and a deep exhale all the way down to 0. Intense inhale, serene exhale. If you want to use that purring sound, you can. It vibrates the whole body. It feels good. Exhale all the way down to 0 every breath. Allows more fresh air, more fresh chi, more fresh prana to come in every breath. Excuse me. Beautiful. Keep going. Feel that energy activating all over your body. If you want to squeeze your perineum, that's called a bandha. That moves the energy up. If you want to squeeze your solar plexus, do that. That helps the energy move up. Last 5 breaths of our first round. Get ready with your retention timer. Deeper breaths than before, last 2 breaths. Get ready to exhale completely to 0. Focus on your intention. Exhale completely to 0 and hold. Deep inhale, hold. Beautiful exhale, releasing all the toxins on our breath. Coming back into this moment, letting go of all thoughts that we don't need anymore. Repeating our intention, feeling such gratitude each morning to be here with you. Thank you so much. Truly love being here with you. So precious. You always have been, you always will be. So precious. Beautiful. Well, Feeling our intention happening in this moment, feel our intention happening in every moment, knowing that we are on our purpose, following our vision, following our heart. Beautiful. Let's begin our second round of our activation, energizing, and cleansing. We're doing it all with this breath, and repeating our intention makes it that much more powerful. Being modest and calm in every moment is making it that much more powerful. Teachings of the Tao in the background of everything that we do. Beautiful. Let's begin with a deep inhale and a deepest exhale. Expel all the breath in your lungs, all the stale air. Deep inhale, serene exhale. Put some energy into it. The breath is actually the vehicle for prana, for chi, orgone, 0-point energy. These are all just different names for the same thing. This energy that exists in every space in the universe, between each atom, between each subatomic particle. It's what we use to transmute energy into matter and matter back into energy. Western science is beginning to understand this. It's been known and understood by ancient traditions for eons. We can store it in our lower centers, energy centers, through conscious intention, through intentional focus on these centers down here. These centers down here are our battery. And then we can move the energy up to our upper centers with our conscious intention. Where our attention goes, energy flows. So we can move our root energy, our sacral energy, our solar plexus energy up to our throats, up to our hearts, up to our third eye, out of our crown. Move this energy in a toroidal shape, like a cascading chocolate fountain, a golden bubbles fountain that continually circles around us. Feel it now. As you repeat your intention in your mind and feel it happening in each moment. Excuse me. Last 10 breaths of our second round. Last 5 breaths of our second round. Get ready with your retention timer. Get ready with your intention. Repeat. As you hold at the bottom, start your retention timer and hold. Inhale, hold. Release all the toxins on your breath, release all the draining thoughts that you don't need anymore. Come back into the moment, feel your intentioning happening. Beautiful. Let's begin our third round of deep breathing. We begin with a deep inhale and the deepest exhale all the way down to 0. Last 10 breaths of our third round. Feel the tingling all over your body. Last 5 breaths. Feel the tingling out the crown of your head. Exhale completely to 0. Last 2 breaths. Last breath. Exhale all the way down to 0. Hold at the bottom. Repeat your intention. Deepest inhale, hold at the top. Release all the toxins on your breath, release the draining thoughts that you don't need anymore. Come back into the present, feel your intention happening in each moment. We're building these deeper neuron connections to the amygdala, to this deepest part of our brain, which has gone into fight, flight, or freeze due to agitation of society. By doing these breathing techniques together every morning, we're activating, energizing, and cleansing. We're activating our deepest self, coming back into the moment, energizing our body and mind, and cleansing out all the toxins and all the draining thoughts that we don't need anymore. Realizing that who we really are is who we really are in each moment. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining each morning. I truly love being here with you each morning. I look forward to this moment together with you, doing these practices. Thank you so much. Well, beautiful. Let's dive into our fourth round. Our fourth round is slightly different than the first three in that at the very last exhale, when we hold at the bottom, we do 5-second push-ups. Very slow push-ups. Remain in the present moment. Repeat your intention even as you're doing the push-ups. Just be present to the sensations. Be present to your intentions. Know that they are happening right now. We are creating our most powerful self. We're creating our strongest self. We're moving beyond the agitation of our minds and the programming that we have received. If you can do those push-ups on your toes, that's great. If you can do the push-ups on your feet, that's great. If you can do the push-ups on your knees, that's great. If you want to stand against the wall because you're starting to do push-ups for the first time and it's a little bit intense even on your knees, do them against the wall. If you want to do seated push-ups because you just want to use your arms and not move your legs, you can do that. If you don't want to move your arms and you just want to smile, do push-ups with your smile and just enjoy. Smiles are the greatest gift that we can give ourselves. We activate our deepest immune, deepest strength with a simple smile. Beautiful. Let's begin, and I'll let you know when we need to move into the push-up position and do our push-ups. So we begin with a deep inhale and deepest exhale all the way down to 0. Inhale, serene exhale. Pardon me. If some phlegm comes up, spit it out. Better to let it out than to keep it in. This purring can bring up some phlegm that's stored in your sinuses. You can bring it out. Do so, just have a tissue nearby. Spit it into the tissue. Our lungs are constantly expectorating up to our mucus membranes where we can spew it out, clean out our lungs. From the smoke, from the toxins, from the pollution. From whatever viruses, from whatever bacteria might be collected and then moved out by our lungs with the control that we now have over our deepest immune system. Start moving into your push-up position. Last 5 breaths. Get ready with your retention timer. Repeat your intention in your mind. Last breath. Stay in complete presence. Exhale completely to 0. Hold at the bottom and do your push-ups. Deepest inhale. Hold at the top. Release all the toxins on your breath. Release all thoughts that you don't need anymore. Come back into the present. Not that you ever left. I'm sure you're working on your being present at all times. That's beautiful, right? Now reach into a forward bend. Feel that stretch. Grab your calves. If you can, reach your ankles. Feel that on your ankles. If you can, reach your toes with your index and middle finger and grab onto your biggest toe and pull that. Stretches the calves, stretches the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, your gluteus maximus. If you can, rock back and forth. Bring more stretch even to your glutes. If you can, reach the bottoms of your feet. Grab the bottoms of your feet with your fingers. Feel that stretch in your upper back, your shoulders, your legs. Hold that. So beautiful to be here with you every morning. Thank you so much. I know there's so much going on in the world today. Thank you for taking this time to bring out the highest in yourself which is such a beautiful gift to yourself, to your families, to your friends, really to everybody that you come in contact. Also, your powerful intention, your powerful loving intention, thoughts get sent out into the thought space. We're picking up thoughts not only from, we're creating thoughts not only of our own, but we're also picking up other people's thoughts. We're like antennas for thoughts. And some swamis say that 70% of our thoughts are not even our own. So as we send out our most powerful intention, we're setting out those thoughts, those powerful, heartfelt intentions for our greatest good, for the greatest good of all, of our families and our friends and all beings. Those thoughts are being picked up by others, and we're helping the entire planet surf to a beautiful reality that we're creating with our powerful intentions, our heartfelt intentions. Creating a more sustainable planet, creating a planet of more beautiful compassion between people. We truly can turn this planet back into the Garden of Eden through our intention, our collective thought intention. We are part of the consciousness of the planet. When we go into a meditative state, the frequency of our consciousness is the same frequency as the Schumann frequency of the planet. So we're connecting to the consciousness of the planet. And the planet, with all of its pyramids in every country, is resonating that energy all around, and we're putting our thoughts into that thought sphere, and all of those thoughts are being picked up by others. So let's put out the most loving, compassionate thoughts, our most powerful intentions, and we will take this planet together back to a paradise that it has always been, but one free of anxiety and depression, one that still has different challenges of the higher realms, and we can explore those challenges as well. In the meantime, we can let go of these challenges that we experienced in the Iron Age with such violence and brutality. We don't need that anymore. Beautiful. So if you have your Wim Hof app, go ahead and save your progress just so that you can continue. Just seeing and noting what beautiful progress you're making. You can store how many push-ups you did. You can comment on your meditation. And then it's also highly recommended that you do some cold shower. We did our forward bending. A cold shower is going to help really this stress, kind of the amygdala, and release. Truly, we can have conscious control over our body temperature, as Wim Hof is demonstrating in an MRI and CT scan machines, that through conscious control, connection of the prefrontal cortex to the amygdala that's being generated through our daily morning rituals, this breathing technique, we're reconnecting the deepest parts of our brain. We actually can create conscious control over the deepest parts of our bodies. And one of those is temperature control, and he's done extreme heat. He's run a complete marathon in a desert with no water. He's climbed Everest in shorts and no shirt, I believe. Shorts for sure. And but you can check it out all on YouTube. It's super fascinating. And so I do recommend cold showers every morning. If you're just getting started, I recommend you start with a warm shower and then switch to a cold shower. If you want to let the shower shoot down onto your thyroid, the front of your throat, just stand in the stream like this, have it come and shoot down here to the front of your throat, and yeah, experience that. It's like a super invigorating, and it feels so good. And then you can switch back to warm. If you get really ambitious, you can go in straight into the cold, which is where I'm at after about 3 years from 3.5 years of cold showers. I step straight into the cold, and it's the mind will definitely resist it at first, and there's like come up with a bunch of excuses why not to jump into the cold. But it is at this point just a beautiful practice, because at various times during the day, life does get uncomfortable. And so it's just a practice of knowing that going into the discomfort, you will come out stronger than when you went in. So know that everything is for the best. So much gratitude for you, so much appreciation for your activation. I do recommend journaling, and we'll develop an even more comprehensive program going forward so that we can participate together in our journaling and our intention setting and creating the most powerful intentions. Thank you so much for joining this morning. If you want to join me for a headstand, please do as we close out for the day. Headstands are another powerful practice. Swami Rama says if you can't walk on your head, you can't stand on your feet. I think that's something to do with balance. And so let's go walk on our head. I'll see you tomorrow. So many blessings. Thank you so much.